Welcome back, everybody. My name is BluJay, and we are back at the Reverb Outpost. I just finished up getting about half of my stuff back. If you watched the last couple of episodes, we had some very unfortunate events happen to us where we lost pretty much everything and lost everything again and again and again. So I got most of it back. I'm still rocking the iron armor. And we'll get our diamond armor back before this episode is over because of what we're going to be doing a little later. But for now, we are going to be tearing up this floor. That's right, we are going to do some remodeling of the subscriber barracks and patron armory, the Patreon armory. And I don't think anybody really wants to sleep on a cold snow floor. They would rather not sleep here. So, I mean, I've been thinking about doing this for a while. I've been trying to think of a design, and other things kept coming up, and other projects kept coming up that I wanted to get to, and this was just kind of pushed back. I was like, it's good enough for now. There are a couple of things around the base that are not quite appealing and have been that mentality of, it's good enough for now, I'll fix it later. I'm going to get to those projects slowly but surely, like some of the lighting in the hallway on the way down here, and some of the hallway on the way to the sheep farm. Like, there's just stuff that's just not finished. And that's okay, this is an ongoing series, there's a lot of stuff to build, a lot of things to do, but I want to try to start finishing projects completely before I move on to other things. Now, I know if a project takes like 3 or 4 episodes, we're going to want to take a break from that and do something else for a while. But as a general rule, I want to try to finish projects and not just leave them for another time. So we are back in the Patreon Armory and Subscriber Barracks today, fixing up the floor because it doesn't look super great. It's just snow, and it was a temporary thing. But I went into my testing world and started tinkering around with some designs, and I came up with one that I quite like. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to start with a white concrete base. So I'm going to fill in the entire floor with white concrete, and then we will start working on the design together. All of our white concrete is in place, and now we're going to start working out the floor design using our lovely blue concrete that we've been using for this room. We've got like the light blue beds, and we've got light blue concrete on the walls, and this is like the blue district. And so that brings me to this next point of conversation, talking about the color scheme of the base. Originally I was thinking that we would do like one color in one part of the base and one color in another part of the base, and I still think I might go that direction with certain aspects of the Reverb Outpost, but I think that because this particular barracks is almost full, I think there's only one slot left, we're going to have to build another barracks, and I think I want them to be different color barracks, because this could be like the blue squadron, and then we could do like a red one, and an orange one, and a yellow one, and a purple one, and a green one, and, whatever. We could have different squadrons for however many people that, we end up adding to the subscriber barracks. Because I foresee this series going on for quite a long time, we're going to fill up a lot of space with a lot of names, and I think we should probably try to do different colors. I think that could be really cool. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do when we run out of colors, because there's only 16 in the game, but, we're going to be a long, long, long time away from that. That's looking pretty good. So the inspiration for this design is kind of just like this whole symbol kind of thing. It's not supposed to be text or anything, but if you've ever seen like the language that is written out in Star Wars, it's like all these weird, funky symbols, and it's actually pretty cool, and that's kind of the inspiration for this design. Maybe this means like squadron or something like that, and it's the color blue, so it's blue squadron. So that could be like the symbol for our particular world language. It's a bunch of gibberish. It's just a design on the floor, but you get what I'm talking about. How many of you guys have seen that like Star Wars language written out? I don't even know what it's called, but it's pretty cool. You can like find charts online to interpret letters, like real world letters, for what the Star Wars language actually spells out. It's pretty cool stuff. So that's basically what has inspired me to go about this particular kind of floor design, and that is looking pretty good. We are done with this room. I might actually put a couple of blocks over by the stairs so there's not just this white gap in between the stairs and the floor. We might tie that all the way to the end. But yeah, that's looking pretty good so far. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you like this particular design? Or, what do you think? Let me know. All finished up in the subscriber barracks, and now we're going to go over here and do the exact same thing over in the armory. We're just going to punch out all of this snow, and it's going to be a slightly different design. It's not going to be too terribly different. It's essentially going to be the same thing. You may not even be able to notice unless I tell you what's different about it. What is different about it is this room is slightly wider than the barracks is because we've got a block sticking out for the beds. Because armor stands only take up 1 block and beds take up 2, it narrows the room by 2 blocks. So basically this will be a little bit wider, but we're going to keep the same basic design for the floor. So I'm going to go ahead and fill all of this concrete in, just like we did in the other room, and then I will go ahead and take care of the design, and then we'll keep moving with our episode today. We are all finished up with both rooms, so let's take a look at the barracks again, just so you can get a point of reference for how wide this particular room is, and then we'll run over and take a look at the armory, and you'll see what I was talking about, how it's just slightly wider. And we changed up the floor design just a smidge on the sides, and we added some blue dots right in front of the armor stands, but this is looking pretty cool. I really like this. It kind of looks like they could do some training in here, like throw on their battle armor, and then right in the middle of the floor, there's like boundaries for where they can do some training and sparring, and just use your imagination, and you can use this room for anything that you like. So we are going to tear up this little section here because, good news, we have a brand new person to add to the Patreon armory. Someone else has joined the Patreon community and has been awesome in, contributing to the channel beyond the regular viewership, and I'll mention who this person is here in a little bit. But while we're digging this out, I just want to mention that this person who has joined the Patreon community, never did I ever expect that they would do something like this. Totally, completely out of the blue, not expected at all. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. This person is doing this. And this is one person who you may already know who I'm talking about. I sent a tweet out about probably a couple of weeks ago saying, hey, this person's a fellow YouTuber. They are looking for a little bit of help getting their channel going again because their gear kind of crashed on them. So I sent that out, and somebody, actually one of my patrons, went over and was like, hey, I'm going to help you out and help you get the money you need for a new device. And it was like, oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. And then this dude that was looking for some help and wanted to get back into YouTube, turned around and said, hey, you helped me out, so I'm going to help you out. And they pledged on my Patreon. It was just a really cool moment. So the point of this entire story is that the Minecraft community, super awesome community. You can get to know people, you can help people out, you can encourage people, and it's just an awesome community to be a part of. So yeah, it's a great way to meet people, great way to encourage people, and yeah, it's awesome. Love me some Minecraft community. All right, it's time to finish off our first subscriber barracks before we've got to build a new one, and this person has been pretty active in the comment section recently, so thank you so much to Heather Oswald. Thank you so much for being so active in the community. I appreciate your support. Welcome to the subscriber barracks at the Reverb Outpost. And now on over to our patron of today who has contributed to the channel on Patreon. You've heard me mention him before. His name is HuTuber Gaming. Be sure to go over and check out his YouTube channel when you get a couple of minutes. And if you really enjoy his content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button too, because I'm sure he would appreciate that. I'll be sure to leave his link in the description below so you can find him a little easier, but we'll go ahead and add his sign here. HuTuber Gaming. There we go. Thank you so much, buddy. Welcome to the Patreon Armory. You are now part of the elite squadron of troopers that protect this place. Thank you so much. Someone asked in the comments section recently if I could show off what the iron farm is pumping out these days, because I haven't shown it recently, and I'm pleasantly surprised at just how much this actually puts out, because I'm over here working all the time, so this thing is always running, but check it out. We got 2 full rows of iron ingots, and we're already started on a 3rd row, and this thing is not running at all times. I took off that little command that kept it running at all times. It's only running when I'm in the area, and so even at that, it's still pumping out a bunch of iron. We're going to need it, too, for a storage room later on in the series. I now officially have a pink potions shulker box where we're going to put all of our potions. We've got some fire resistance, and we've got some potions of healing, instant health 2 that we found in the end. And we're going to need these potions because we are going to go on a bit of an adventure for the remainder of this episode. And we've actually already got our armor. We're going to throw that on. So we've got fire protection 4, fire protection 4, Fire Protection 4, Unbreaking 3, and Feather Falling 4 with Projectile Protection 4. Didn't take terribly long to get all of that armor. I mean, I stood at the zombie farm, that's what it's called. I stood at the zombie farm for a while and just left it AFK for a little bit, like 20 minutes at a time, and by the time I got back, it was, a ton of XP there waiting for me to collect when I, whack the zombies with my sword and all of that good stuff. So we were able to gather a bunch of levels and enchant some armor, and we should be good to go, and we are officially restocked with all of our good gear. This is our nether gear, because we are going into the nether to go Wither Skull hunting. Let's jump in there right now. We are in the nether, and I've actually left a little access point behind our base nether portal to where we can access the rest of the nether, because we don't want to just be stuck in our little tunnel there. We want to be able to come out here and explore, and we are going to go wither skeleton hunting, but we are not going to go to the nether fortress that we've been to before. We're going to go hunting and try to find another one. That's why I've got my elytra on, because we can travel a lot quicker and honestly a lot safer, because we can avoid the lava lakes and fly right over them as long as we are careful. And since I'm not on a server or anything, there shouldn't be any lag issues to where I'm, going to fall out of the sky or anything like that. But let's wander over this direction and see about taking off. Yeah, this looks as good as places as any. Let's jump down here and hope for the best. Not too bad, and I've already kind of hit a wall here. Not off to a great start. Let's not, plaster into a wall. We're good. Okay, so while we are flying around hunting for our first fortress, here is the comment question of the day. If you could add any mob to Minecraft, what would it be? From Goliath the Gamer. And while we're talking about comment question of the day, I did want to mention I've got another book, but I haven't had time to type in all of the questions from the last 26 episodes, including this one. So I'm going to try to do that here soon, but it might be another episode or 2 before I can get that up and running again officially. But we'll still do comments, questions of the day as normal. We just won't have them in a book or anything just yet. So to answer this question, if there could be any mob in the game that I could add, what would it be? Now, that's a hard question because there's all sorts of mobs. There's hostile mobs, there's passive mobs, there are like ocean mobs, there are specific biome mobs like polar bears that are only in snow areas. Like there's a lot already in the game, and they're adding that like flying creature that comes out at night when you don't sleep for like a multiple amounts of nights. Like it just comes after you. It's like an insomnia kind of mob. It's actually sounds pretty cool. I'm excited for that. But like just like a regular mob to potentially add to the game, I think it would be cool to have more snow stuff, because polar bears are fine. They're cool. They don't serve much of a purpose. And then there's like snow specific skeletons that are called strays, I believe. Husks are in the desert, and those are like the desert zombies. And strays are the snow biome skeletons. So, since we're in a snow biome, let's just go ahead and say I'd prefer to have like a snow biome mob, a specific one for that. So like penguins. I love penguins. They're really cool. Every time I go to the zoo, I go seek out the penguins because I like to look at penguins. And when I was a kid, I was like, when I grow up, I'm going to have a pet penguin. Never ended up happening, but, kids say the darndest things. But yeah, penguins would be pretty cool to add to the game. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but, they're adding turtles in the next update, the next major update, that have like turtle eggs that can hatch and all of that. So you never know. Anything is possible. They're always looking for more feedback, more ideas, and they really respect the opinions of the community and are always asking people to, submit feedback on their website and submit suggestions. So that's my suggestion. I would love to see penguins in the game. Well, guys, we have found our first wither skeleton, and there's actually a couple of them over here. We got to be careful because we don't want to knock them off into the lava. They won't burn up, but we would have to go down after them, and nothing. Just some bones and a sword. Now, I remember doing this in Season 1 of the Let's Play, and it was kind of a nightmare. I walked around for hours and hours and hours, and it took forever to get 3 wither skeleton skulls. So hopefully it won't take too terribly long. And yeah, still nothing. We're going to keep searching around and try to find a bunch of these guys. And if we have the same problem that we had at our original nether fortress that we found, we do have our elytra. We can just keep flying and see if we can find others. Because I don't want to just walk around here if wither skeletons aren't respawning. I think that was a bug that was supposed to have been fixed. But I went and looked at the original nether fortress that I found that's relatively close by to my original spawn point. I went and looked there after the bug update that was supposed to have fixed this, and I still didn't see any spawning there. So maybe it's because it was near, like, ground where other mobs could spawn. There's a regular skeleton. I wish you were a wither skeleton. Oh, let's get this guy. Got him! So I went there and nothing was spawning as far as wither skeletons, and maybe that's because the mob cap was reached with other, like, zombie pigmen and ghasts and stuff like that. I'm not sure if that causes an issue. I think I need to find a nether fortress that is exclusively above lava, because that will significantly increase the spawn rates of, blazes and wither skeletons and all of the cool stuff that we might want to get loot from. So not really seeing much of anything. I'm going to jump off the recording here and just keep wandering around to see what we can find. And when we find another wither skeleton, I will come back to you and give you an update. I'll be right back. Found a couple more. Just gonna lure them over here and see what we can get. Nada. Bones and coal. Got plenty of that already. We don't need that. Come on. All right, buddy. You come over here. Meet my looting 3 sword and give me something good. Oh, look! Yes! We found a wither skeleton skull. Oh, that's the first one. We need 2 more. We need 2 more. All right, I'm going to keep wandering around and see if we can get any more of these things, and hopefully we will get 3 and be able to fight the wither soon. I've wandered around this fortress for a little while, and I don't see any more skeletons, so we are going to take off. We've got our rockets and our elytra, and here we go. Off to find another nether fortress. Now, what I am curious about is if we leave this one and get far enough away, will it eventually... Oh boy, ouch. That hurt. Oh, let's be careful, BluJay. Will it eventually, like, despawn all of those mobs? Somebody mentioned to me in the comment section a couple of videos ago that, like, mobs don't actually despawn if you go a certain distance away in Bedrock Edition. That's just a Java thing. Is that true? I'm not sure if that's true or not. I thought that mobs, like at least hostile mobs, despawned. Nothing down here. I thought that hostile mobs despawned if you get like outside of 128 blocks or whatever the distance is. Let me know if that's correct or if that's wrong. But I'm going to keep exploring around here, and we probably are going to call it quits here soon because we are running out of time for this episode, and I've got to get a couple of videos done rather quickly this week because I am going out of town for a church-related event that we've got going on. I'll be out for a couple of days, and one of those days falls on the same day that I normally release my Sunday video. So I'm going to have to get that done before I leave. So I'm going to gather up this glowstone and then keep taking a look around, but we're probably going to call it quits here soon. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the time that I have got for today. We had a pretty productive episode today, and my main goal for today, we totally met it. And that was to not lose anything. We have all of our armor still intact. We've got our elytra with mending on it that we're not going to lose. We're not going to lose it. We've got all of our tools and all of that. We got some pretty decent progress done on our armory and barracks, and we added a couple of new people to those. And we have one wither skeleton skull. We need 2 more to be able to fight the wither. And I think I'm going to keep hunting and searching, and I think that's what we're going to be doing at the beginning of the next episode as well. And who knows, if we get enough wither skeleton skulls, maybe we'll even fight the wither in the next episode. But we will just have to wait and see. But for now, my name is BluJay, and I've got to fly on out of here. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.